Marietta Mehanni, and this week's muscle conditioning tip is going to really challenge your abdominals. So it's probably not an exercise I would call pelvic floor safe, so this is definitely something that's a little bit more advanced when you know that you've got good function with that particular muscle. So we're going to start off by lying down on the floor with the ball between the ankles. Now, super important that you have the right size ball. This is a 55 centimetre ball. I wouldn't go any bigger than this because it will become way too challenging, as you'll discover. So we're going to be starting off with the ball between the ankles, and you're going to be lying down on your back. So just holding the ball in this position. What we're going to do is keep the knees bent at 90 degrees and lower the ball down. Now, you can certainly activate the core during this. So draw up the pelvic floor and draw in the lower abdomen. So you want those two muscles to operate together, and you want to have conscious control of that, especially if you're going to be talking about core. Now, for some people, they might find that this aggravates them in the hips. So, as a group fitness instructor, always make sure that you provide options. In this situation, if you're an instructor and people are complaining, or you've got some clients that are like, oh, this is really not catching me in the hips, I don't feel good about doing this, I usually ask them to put their feet on the floor and do very similar movements with using their upper body. Yes, it's a different exercise. It's not the same because you're using the upper part of the body, which is going to target different exercise, but it's a good option, alternative for those people who want to continue participating in the workout, but most of the class can do what we're going through right now. So let's go back to it. Ball between the feet. So I do around about 8 slow repetitions of this. So I'm encouraging people to breathe out as the legs go down, encouraging people to focus on lifting the pelvic floor as the legs go down, and drawing the lower abdomen. So the next level, of course, is to straighten the legs. So legs a lot straighter, and you're going to stretch the legs out further and come back up again. So drop the legs down lower and come back up again. You'll notice I'm not going all the way down to the floor, because once I hit that threshold right there, that's when I'm like, oh, I don't think I can keep my abdominals drawn in like they were before, and I can feel my tummy wanting to bulge up, and that's the one thing that you want to avoid. Breathing here is super important. So exhale as the legs go down, inhale as the legs come up. Exhale as the legs go down, inhale as the legs come up. So 8 repetitions, 8 slow repetitions is just the right amount for that. It's pretty intense. Okay, for some people who said that they had issues with their hip before, may actually find this easier to do. Okay, so give that as an alternative if they're ready for doing this particular exercise. All right, there's one more exercise that we're going to do, and this is an interesting one, and this is why the ball needs to be small. So we're going to hold the ball again in the ankles, but what I'm going to do is I'm going to rotate the ball from side to side, and I'm going to do this each time I come up. So I'm going to drop the ball down and roll to the side. Now you'll notice it's not my hips that are moving, it's my legs that are moving. So hold the ball between the ankles, dropping down, come up, roll the ball. So now I've got 1 foot in front, 1 foot behind, back to the center. Breathe out, come back up, rotate. Now you're going to have to use your legs a lot more here. It's a little fun. Yep, because you're trying to get that ball between the feet. Breathe out, come back up, rotate, come back. My goodness, it's quite challenging. It's quite challenging because you're trying to get that ball between the ankles while you're doing that. So it adds an element of interest, an element of fun. Again, if people are finding that they're feeling that in the hips, that's totally okay. I get them down the floor, getting them to do hip extensions, or not hip extensions, but lifting the hips away from the floor to give them some relief here. They'll be working the backs of their legs for the duration of that particular exercise. It's all good. If you're a good fitness instructor, you're always trying to find ways to keep everyone moving, and moving in a way that they feel comfortable doing. So, challenging exercise for the abdominals, my friends, and I wouldn't say it was pelvic floor safe, but it's definitely a good workout if there's no challenges in that area. And that's this week's muscle conditioning tip.